right? So the next point is learn to communicate well by email. Be clear, concise, and organized about what you are trying to accomplish. Reread what you are sending 2 to 3 times before hitting send. And from the outside looking in, this may sound odd, even irrelevant, because you don't send emails, you send text messages. So, what is this email? Well, in a corporate world, in the formal setting, this is how professionals communicate. It's via email, right? And emails, unlike text messaging, demand a lot of thoughts. Everything must be concise, as the lady clearly stated here, and clear, right? There are certain subscriptions to be used and certain superscriptions. I hope I use those terms well. The dear, you don't even say dear sir or something of that sort. You may just start with hello, and then you move on to constructing your email. And I had a little bit of experience in this in the last opportunity I had to you know be around an office environment, and it proved very helpful. The boss I had to was also very helpful in that she was a bit tough on us with the wording. Wording is very important in crafting an email, and I'm not really qualified to go into detail. I'd love to host someone in the near future who has a lot of experience in crafting and sending professional emails to guide us as to how it's done. And so I'll move on to the next point. Take a few minutes before you walk in the door to work, to set the tone. Have a game plan. See yourself successfully getting off to a good start. Walk in with your head held high, a smile on your face. Greet people and engage. If you walk in glued to your phone with your headphones on, you send a message loud and clear that people are not important, nor is common courtesy. Look at all of your messages before you walk in the door, or wait until you are in a place to do it later. I'm guilty. I'm guilty of the walking with glued to your phone and the headphones on. I'm guilty. I'm guilty. And this is new. This is new. And you can tell if something makes sense on a very simple level, like, oh, this makes sense. You don't need much convincing. It's like you're walking, your shoelace and tie, like, yo, bro, your shoelace and tie. I mean, it makes sense that you bend down and tie it up because the effect of not tying up is inevitable. You trip and you fall. I mean, it will affect you negatively. Obviously, this not following this will also affect us negatively. So it makes sense that we apply it, that I apply it. I like it. And I hope you do too. Even if you don't like it, it's practical. So we have to think about it. Next, when things go wrong, as is inevitable, do not throw people under the bus. The mistake they made may be your own one day. If you make a mistake, own up to it. Find ways to prevent it from happening again. Seek counsel or advice from those who may have insight and a better understanding of how to deal with difficult situations. Wow. Let me repeat the point I like very much. If you make a mistake, own up to it. That's it. That's it. And it was a small office environment. I always lean on that example because it's the only experience I have, right? And it was just for a few months. But even then, my boss himself made this point very clear, right? I used to like to talk a lot, and not talk a lot in a general sense, but I was afraid. That's why, especially if he comes in, who did this? Oh, boss, when I came, then I saw this, and then I came to check this, and I realized, it wasn't even looking right. Meanwhile, the short answer is, I don't know. That's the answer. So he'll ask again, who did this? Alvin, Alvin, just be straight to the point. Is it you? No. Do you know who did it? No. That's all. That's all. And I got to learn along the line that sometimes, even if you are remotely involved in what happened, just take the blame. Just take the blame, right? And move on. Even if your boss ends up, not liking you for that, the co-worker for whom you took the bullet for will respect you for that and will feel the urge or the need to reciprocate that kindly. So he'll watch out for you. He's got your back now. In a sense, he owes you a favor because you took a bullet for him. So just there's no losing here, right? Take complete ownership. Joko Willings. You type Joko Willings in YouTube. That's I think he has a book on it. Extreme ownership. He used to be a Navy SEAL guy. And also this guy also hits on it as well. David Goggins, right? A lot of speakers on YouTube trumpet this message. And it's not for the fun of it. It's not for the views either. It's because it works. It works. Even in the family setting, right? Sometimes it could be that it's a sibling of yours or a relative like a cousin who has made that mistake. But in that moment, you can tell that the person is angry. And even if you try to shift the blame, you'll still get some of the blame. The person will find a way to involve you in the whole situation. So at times like that, it may be best to just take ownership. Hey, who poured this water? Who poured this water? Who poured this water? Then he's looking at you. Are you the one? Are you the one? If you say no, you'll be like, and you saw it. What didn't you do about it? So if you can foresee that outcome, just say yes. Yes. And I was about to even clean it. Now you reduce the blasting you receive. Right? The person's like, so why are you now coming to clean it? Oh, I'm coming to clean it. Hurry up and clean it. And you clean it and you move on. Later on, when the person finds out it wasn't you, the person's respect for you will deepen or increase. And the person for whom you took the blame will come to respect you more, see you as a more mature person, right? Someone who you can even trust. But at the end of the day, you are not doing it for them. You are not playing some sort of game with them. You are doing it for you. Because you may be a husband or wife in the future if you aren't one already. And these are very important skills to learn. I know this because I've been taught by husbands. Right? So the next step. Okay, I'd like to discuss the next step in another segment of this video, and that is about managing time. So see you in the next video.